In a forest lived a rather rickety mouse. He was so afraid of the fox, the wolf, and even himself for that matter, that if the wind blew and a branch cracked, he looked around for a hole he could hide in. Because of this, all the little animals made fun of him.
How scared is he?
You're even scared of the wind.
You're so scared.
You're so scared.
You're so scared. One day, the mouse got his act together and went over to see the king of the jungle, the lion. The lion had just finished having his lunch. He was taking a nap in front of the cave. The mouse's friends were all curious as to what the mouse had planned. The mouse started to climb up the lion's tail. He got up on the lion's back. With a very confident look on his face, he posed to his friends. Although he was very scared, he was doing everything in his hand not to make it obvious. Right at that moment, the lion woke up. And as he shook his fur, the mouse fell off. The mouse and the lion came eye to eye. All the other animals were worried.
Oh no, the lion will swallow the mouse. What nerve, what courage. What are you doing on my back?
King out the jungle. Please don't eat me. I'm the most scared and the most vulnerable of them all. My life passes on by shaking with fear. If a leaf falls off of the tree, I'm scared. I'm fed up with this. I want to get rid of this fear. You're the king of the jungle. With just one big roar, the animals fear you. Would you consider taking me into your custody?
The lion listened to the mouse in silence. The mouse was wondering what his reply was going to be.
And why should I help you? Give me one good reason as to why I shouldn't eat you.
Your help will be returned, I promise. Maybe one day I will help you.
As soon as the mouse finished what he had to say, the lion roared in such a way.
How can such a tiny mouse as yourself be of any help to me?
But seeing the tiny mouse shaking in front of him, the lion decided not to eat him.
Thank God I am full. Now get out of my sight.
The mouse ran and got away from there. Watching all that was happening from afar, the friends of the mouse were really surprised. Some time had passed by, the lion got hungry and started wandering around in the forest. But he could not notice the hunter's trap and got caught. He was hung in the air in a big net. He tried to break free from the net, but he could not do it. He was the king of the forest, so if he could yell for help, he would be humiliated, and all the hunters would hear him and come to get him faster. Being out of options, he began to wait. Meanwhile, the other animals living in the forest noticed the lion. But nobody could dare get close to him. When he was passing by, Little Mouse saw the lion, and he decided to help him. He went directly next to him. He started to climb the lion's long tail, and when he reached the net, he began to chew on it. At that moment, the bunny came running next to them.
Hey, buddy, hurry up. The hunters are coming.
The other animals who were gathered around suddenly started to run around when they heard the word hunter. But the mouse kept on chewing with persistence. In the end, the net was torn apart and the lion fell down and got away.
Come on, jump on my back. Let's get out of here.
The mouse jumped on the lion's back and they got away from there. All breathless, the lion arrived in front of his cave. He kneeled down and the mouse jumped off.
When you told me that one day you might be able to help me, I underestimated you. I thought you were a tiny mouse with no use at all. But you saved my life. Thank you.
It's my pleasure, my king.
You don't have to be afraid of me anymore. In fact, you do not need to fear anything because you're a very courageous mouse. If I am the king of the jungle, from now on, you are my courageous prince.
Lion and the mouse began to laugh. All the animals watching all that was happening from afar came out and applauded the courageous mouse. The lion and the mouse became best friends and the forest lived in peace forever. Once upon a time, there was a father wolf who went out into the woods to hunt for his family. When in the woods, he suddenly heard a sound. Looking around, he noticed a tiny baby in between the bushes. "This is a human baby," said the wolf with a big surprise. He took the baby home out of harm's way. Watching from a distance, Shere Khan the tiger got very upset because he was the one who stole the baby from the humans. Mother Wolf and her cubs love this little baby very much.
We will call him Mowgli from now on,
said Mother Wolf. From that day on, Mowgli started to live with his wolf siblings in the woods. Mother Wolf took very good care of him, like he was one of her own. In a short time, Mowgli became friends with all the animals. He played games and hung around the trees with them. At the same time, he got to know the jungle. During all that time, Shere Khan, the tiger, kept watching Mowgli from a distance and waited for an opportunity to grab and kidnap him. One day, the wise wolf Akela, Baloo the bear, and Bagheera the panther came together and started to talk about Mowgli.
Human babies are very smart. Let's bring him up like a jungle boy. Baloo and Bagheera, you will protect him and teach the rules of the jungle,
said Akela. Years went by fast. Baloo the bear was very attentive with his new student. He taught him how to look for nuts and honey, climbing the trees. Mowgli listened to Baloo's teaching with all ears. Every day he climbed a higher tree and started to feed himself. Baloo also taught him how to understand the sounds of the jungle. He was proud of his student. Mowgli was running very fast and swimming very good. And Bagheera taught him how to identify the traps humans set up for the animals and how to avoid them. One day, a cub wolf ran into one of these traps. Shere Khan the tiger wanted to hunt this cub wolf and make him his lunch. But acting before the tiger, Mowgli saved the cub from the trap. Shere Khan the tiger lost once again. Baloo also taught Mowgli the magic words he can use when there is danger in the jungle. In a very short time, Mowgli learnt these words by heart. Mowgli would not be harmed by any animal in the jungle. Realizing that he was not going to be able to catch Mowgli alone, Shere Khan went next to Banderlogs, the most dangerous animals in the jungle. He told them about Mowgli.
If Mowgli teaches us everything he knows, we'll become the wisest animals in the jungle.
One day when Mowgli was making a shelter to protect himself from the storm, the Banderlogs were watching from where they were hiding. They decided to kidnap him when the opportunity came. At sunset, Mowgli was kidnapped by 2 monkeys and brought into the hills where the jungle was at its thickest. The little boy found himself in the middle of the Banderlogs. When Mowgli realized that he was kidnapped by the monkeys, he started to think. He had to reach Baloo and Bagheera and let them know. Suddenly, he noticed Chill the vulture flying up above in the sky. He remembered the magic words Baloo taught him. We are the same blood, you and I. Hearing these words, Chill the vulture immediately realized that Mowgli wasn't a stranger and that he was in trouble.
I'm little Mowgli! Could you let Baloo and Bagheera know that I'm kidnapped?
Of course I will, Mowgli, answered Chill the vulture, and flew off to deliver the message to Mowgli's friends. Banderlogs brought Mowgli to their cold cave, the Monkey Town. This place was a place in the deep jungle that humans abandoned years ago. Even though Mowgli attempted to run away, the Banderlogs outnumbered and caught him. Finding out about Mowgli's kidnapping, Baloo and Bagheera asked Kaa, the giant snake, for help to save Mowgli. They all came to the monkey town and hid behind a giant statue. From their hideout, they could see Mowgli and hundreds of monkeys around him. They started to wait for the perfect moment to take Mowgli out of there. At the right moment, Kaa said, "Now is the time. Let's go." Bagheera silently moved to catch the monkeys. Then he started to punch the monkeys surrounding Mowgli with his powerful claws. Banderlogs ran around screaming with fear, and one of them called the others for help. Suddenly, Bagheera was surrounded with lots of monkeys. Some other monkeys grabbed Mowgli and put him in a room with closed walls. Mowgli could hear Bagheera fighting with the monkeys. He remembered the water storage under the ruins of the city, and he knew that the monkeys were afraid of water.
Bagheera, run and jump in the water!
Bagheera ran and jumped straight into the water. Baloo was also attacked by the monkeys. They started to fight, and Baloo was hitting the Banderlogs with his front claws to protect himself. He was trying his best, but there were too many of the Banderlogs, and it was impossible for Baloo to fight them by himself. And Bagheera was helplessly watching him from the water, feeling very bad that he could not help his friend. When Baloo was struggling with the monkeys, suddenly Kaa came out. When Kaa started to hit all the monkeys with his giant tail, the monkeys ran away with fear. The monkeys were always afraid of Kaa. None of them could face him in a fight. So when they started to run away in the depths of the jungle, Baloo was finally free. But when Kaa opened his mouth and blew, all the monkeys stood still. Their voices suddenly went away and it suddenly became all quiet. Taking this opportunity, Bagheera jumped out of the water. Mowgli yelled from the tower he was trapped in.
I am here, trapped in the tower!
Kaa swung his mighty tail and managed to break the walls of the tower. Freed from the walls, Mowgli threw himself out. Baloo hugged him with love.
You okay, Mowgli?
Yes, I am, but I'm very hungry and tired. You all have risked your lives to save me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Mowgli was also very happy to see Kaa on his side.
I owe you my life, Kaa. Thank you.
Mowgli, Baloo, and Bagheera said goodbye to Kaa and head to their homes. Shere Khan, the tiger, realized that he could never harm someone who had such powerful friendships, and moved back into the depths of the jungle, never to return. A long time passed, and Mowgli grew up to become a young man. One day he went close to the village where humans lived. He met a woman who immediately recognized him. She realized that he was the son which was kidnapped by a tiger many years ago. She put the little boy next to her in Mowgli's arms. Mowgli was very surprised because this little boy was looking very much like Mowgli's own childhood. But then he also realized that this little boy was his brother and the lady was his mother. Baloo, Bagheera, and Kaa were all watching them.
From now on, you'll be next to your family, Mowgli.
Whenever you need us, you know the magic words.
You are our brother. Don't forget how much we love you. Goodbye, dear Mowgli.
His friends said their farewells to Mowgli. Mowgli lived happily ever after with his family, but never did he forget the ones who raised him, his family in the jungle.
The three little pigs are camping. Once upon a time, in the loveliest part of the forest, a mother pig and her three little baby pigs were living happily. One day, the little pig, Gurky, the middle piggy, Torky, and the oldest piggy, Porky, told their mother that they wanted to go camping.
Mom, all our friends went on summer vacation. There's no one left to play with. If you let us, we want to camp by the lake.
The mother pig could not turn down this request of her kids. This is a good idea, my kids. Of course you can camp. But be sure to choose the right place to camp and make sure your tents are solid, okay?
Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
The next day, the piggies left for camp. After walking on the forest road for a while, a wolf with sharp teeth and angry eyes followed them.
Here's an amazing meal that will keep me fed tomorrow morning.
But the pig brothers didn't even notice the wolf following them. Gurky, Torky, and Porky finally arrived at the shore of the lake, and they found a nice place to camp there. First, the youngest piggy, Gurky, decided to make his tent near a tree. He quickly gathered up the large leaves to build his little tent. And before you could say Piggly Wiggly, he was done. The oldest piggy, Porky, came up to his youngest brother and took a look at his tent.
Your tent is beautiful, Gurky, but do you think this tent is sturdy? Yeah, of course it is sturdy, my brother.
The middle piggy, Torky, decided to make his tent from reeds. To do this, he gathered the reeds on the ground and quickly connected them together and finished his tent faster than you could say Piggly Wiggly. But when the oldest piggy, Porky, came to his middle brother and saw the tent made of reeds, he warned his brother.
Brother, your tent is beautiful, but will these reeds protect you from danger? Look, I chose the tallest reeds. My tent will never be damaged.
Since the two little piggies finished their tents so quickly, they started to play and have fun, which may have been their reason for building tents so quickly. The scary-looking wolf carefully watched them secretly. While his little brothers played, Porky started to make his own tent out of thick tree branches. He worked a lot until almost evening, and when he was finished, he had a strong, secure tent that would protect him from dangers. Torky and Gurky were very impressed when they saw their brother's tent.
Your tent is very nice, my brother, but you spent all that time working and didn't play with us.
When the evening came and the sun went down, the 3 little piggies decided to go to the carrot party in the forest. Of course, the sneaky wolf followed them. The 3 little pigs found a lot of rabbits at the party, and that makes sense because it was a carrot party.
Oh, it looks like such a fun party. I want to taste all the carrots.
The piggies mingled with the rabbits and had fun for hours.
Have fun, piggies. Tomorrow, I too will have a lot of fun when I feast on you.
As the party ended, the 3 pig brothers realized how tired they were and returned to their little campsite. And the big bad wolf waited for them all night. Waking up on his second day in the camp, Gurky heard a voice from outside.
Come out, you little piggy, or else, with just one blow, I will destroy your tent.
My tent is very strong. You can't do anything.
Okay, then. 1, 2, 3.
The wolf took a deep breath, so big that he blew away all the leaves of the little piggy's tent, and it fell to pieces. Gurky barely escaped with his life and immediately ran to his brother Torky's tent. Soon after, the wolf arrived in front of the reed tent made by the middle piggy.
I know you're both in there. Come out, you little piggies, or else I will destroy your tent.
My tent will never break down.
Okay, then. 1, 2, 3.
Once again, the wolf took a deep breath so big that he blew away all the reeds of the piggy's reed tent, and it fell to pieces. Gurky and Torky barely escaped with their lives. They immediately ran to their big brother Porky's tent.
Brother, help us. The wolf destroyed our tents, and now he's coming here.
Then we must take action immediately. Come with me.
Working together, Porky, Torky, and Gurky dug a deep hole in front of the tent. Then they got out using the ladder in the pit, and they covered it with an earthen cloth. And then they entered the tent that Porky made of sturdy branches. They finished just in time because the hungry wolf came right over to Porky's tent.
Come out, you little piggies, or else, with just one mighty blow, I will destroy your tent. Don't waste your time, bad wolf. You can't damage this tent. Let's see then. 1, 2, 3.
The wolf blew with all his might, but nothing happened to the tent. The wolf came a step closer and blew again, but to no avail. The tent didn't even shake. The wolf took one step closer to the tent, and this time, he fell into the pit dug by the piggies. Seeing that the wolf had fallen, the piggies came out of the tent and crossed the edge of the pit in front of them. Then, these lovely pig brothers quickly returned to their mother to tell her what had happened.
Mom, you were right. We should have been more careful in the camp. First, we should check the environment before camping, and whatever happens, we should set up the tents firmly. Yes.
the mother pig hugged her children tightly as they returned home. And all throughout the summer break, they played with each other and had fun.
All animals participating in the Jungle Cup finals were preparing for the tournament with their strongest teams. The panda team, which participated in the tournament for the first time this year, was training regularly to win this tournament. Panda team captain Morodana was stunned when he was examining his opponents in his room after training.
I can't understand how they become champions without working and training.
The Jackals team, which was the champion of the previous tournament, was planning the traps they would set for their opponents, accompanied by their captain, Viggo.
We will steal the monkey's bananas, fill the kangaroo's pockets with stones, give the squirrels spoiled hazelnuts. In this way, we will be champions again! Ha 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 ha!
Panda's ball picker, little panda Ressi, who's fond of football, caught the balls that went out with an unexpected quickness from a panda and brought them back immediately by performing all kinds of shows.
Captain, do you think that one day I will be a Team A player too?
The game is played very hard, so it's a man's game. You're a little girl, Ressi. You can't play on the panda team.
But, Captain...
Days chased days. Finally, jackals and pandas made it to the finals. But before the final match, the jackals were at work again for trickery. A player from their team secretly threw itching powder in the nose of Panda P. When Panda P, whose nose was red from itching on the match day, said that he would not be able to play in the match, Morodana was alarmed. Finally, he thought, made his decision, and went to Ressi.
Get ready, you will play too.
But you said... Are you sure you want me to play in the match?
I have no choice, kid. We can't play with a missing player in this match. But you will listen to my words. You will stand on defense. When the ball comes, you will hit forward without ever holding it in your foot. Understood?
When Ressi realized that the captain did not trust her, she got very upset and started to cry under a tree. As she was crying, she heard a voice through the bushes. Viggo, the captain of the jackals, was talking to the star player Kompala with a bottle in his hand.
Jackal Grandpa made the potion in the bottle. It will give you 10 cheetah powers, and you will run faster than anyone else when you drink it.
As soon as Ressi heard this, she immediately went to Morodana and excitedly told what she had heard.
Such a thing is not possible. Stop making things up and go put on your jersey.
Ressi sadly went to the dressing room. It was game time. The referee Wolf blew his whistle, and the match started. Little Panda Ressi was standing on the defense, as her captain Morodana said, and was hitting the incoming ball immediately forward. The Jackal team was giving every ball to Kompala. Kompala was going so fast that the pandas couldn't even get close to him. Then Kompala, passing the defense with a stylish feint, sent the ball into the nets from the right of the goalkeeper with a hard and smooth shot. While the Jackals were enjoying the goal, the Panda team was very upset. Before they could get over the shock of the first goal, Kompala scored another goal, and the first half ended 2-0. Everyone was very upset in the Panda's locker room during the break.
If we can stop Kompala, we may have a chance. But he runs so fast that we can't even catch up.
Instead of saying that girls can't play this game, if you give me a chance in the second half, maybe we can win the game, Captain.
All right. Go to the field and play your way, Ressie.
When the second half started, Ressie was blowing like a storm on the field. Whenever Kampala picked up the ball, Ressie would end up right next to him. As soon as she got the ball, she immediately went on the attack. Before the Jackal team could understand what was happening, Tiny Panda Ressie, who came into the middle from the right, almost flew in the air, hit it with her head, and scored her first goal. Pandas were hopeful with this goal. 10 minutes later, Ressie passed between the two jackals and faced the goalkeeper. With a hard hit, she sent the ball between the goalkeeper's legs into the net once again. And everyone began to admire this little panda. Just when the match was going to end in a draw, the star of the Jackal team, Kampala, was very angry because he could not stop Ressie. And he knocked Ressie down to the ground in the penalty area.
Penalty!
The referee Wolf showed Kampala a red card and sent him off the field.
Ressie!
The audience started cheering for Ressie to take the penalty. However, little Ressie went to the captain Morodena, the most experienced player of the team.
Taking a penalty is a matter of experience. Everyone should know what they can do better and act accordingly. You take the penalty, Captain.
After Morodena nodded to Ressie, he picked up the ball and scored. Pandas won the match 3-2 with this goal and became the champions. They celebrated the joy of victory by taking Ressie on their shoulders. Then, Morodena went to the bushes without telling anyone. While searching around, he saw the potion bottle Ressie was talking about on the ground.
What? Ressie was right!
He took the bottle and came to the field next to Ressie. He gathered the whole team around himself to give a speech.
First of all, I'm sorry, Ressie, for thinking that only men can play football, and I didn't see your skills. Anyone can play this game, whether it's a boy or a girl. You are now our star!
Ressie was very happy with the captain's words.
My second apology is for not listening to you. I found this bottle in the bushes where you said. It's true what you said. The jackals cheated.
As the team players looked around in surprise after hearing what was going on, Morodena took out the empty potion bottle and gave it to the referee Wolf. The referee Wolf rushed over to the jackals and kicked them out of the Jungle Cup football tournament. Morodena and Ressie were now close teammates who trusted each other. They raised the Jungle Cup together and celebrated the championship together to the fullest because they understood how important it is to be successful by working hard and laboring.